Hi, so in this video, we're gonna take a look at how we can do breakpoints. Basically, we're gonna do adaptive layouts. This is the finished product, and if you notice that when we change the width of the screen and make it to below like 700 something pixels, layout changes. In fact, what we got here is that my courses will end up at the bottom. Now, the same thing on here, it's gonna, the one we did, it's gonna be significantly 280. Okay, so you can see this is now kind of odd. That picture now disappears. We got some really squished up stuff. And that's not nice, obviously. So let's try to fix it. Okay, we're gonna work on the phone breakpoint only. We go to the phone breakpoint and we only deal with that and make this slightly longer. And yeah. So the top bar seems reasonable. The thing in here looks a bit odd. It's like fit and fit. So let's make the width just 100%. And then we'll make this view take up the entire thing. And this thing, okay, so let's take up the entire thing 100%. Okay, this now looks normal, but our image is gone to some weird place. So our image is now gone to here, which is not nice. Well, the way we laid it out is that it should go below, right? So let's do that. Let's make this image go to somewhere down below. And the height, where's my image now? My image is one fraction. No, we're not gonna do one fraction. We are going to make sure this is 100%. First, we want to give it some padding, maybe 24 and 32. Okay, so now this looks a lot better. But let's move it out over here, and then this is a little bit too big. And we'll give it a 50%, and now put it in the middle. Slightly off center. Let's figure out why. This thing has a margin. So we'll get rid of the margin. Now that's squarely in the center. This guy here probably has it has no margin. This thing has a gap of 80, which is the space that we don't have. So instead of that, let's just do a 24 margin on the whole thing and get rid of the gap. And then we'll put a 24 margin on top and bottom to space it out. Now this looks more or less like it. We do have my courses now collapsing, overlapping with the bottom view. So the main section needs to be reworked as well. For the entire page, the layout should be changed as well. It should be top to bottom. And we should have three things. Let's see, the entire page, top, bottom, three things. Okay, good. That's because our main section contains the My Courses view and then the list, the course outer thing. So let's lay it out top to bottom. Okay, now they no longer overlap. On the top portion of it, the selector seems to be just fine. The list, we should give it 100% of the width, but because this thing has a massive padding, the main section has a massive padding, we'll get rid of it. It has 3 columns, which we don't want. We just want it to have 1 column. We do want vertical spacing. Width should be 100%. That's now 100%. All right, so let's set this to a somewhat small phone. And what we need to mimic is this. In the design of the results, my course section should take the entirety of the width. At the moment, we don't have that, so let's fix it. We will change the width of this particular container to 100%. And in terms of height, we'll leave it as is. That looks fine. And we'll check each state. This guy is now a bit messed up. Okay, so that's better. As course, that's now taking the entire width as well, so that's not bad. Okay, so I think we're done with adjusting the layout for our homepage, except when we click login, we end up with this crazy thing. All right, so let's adjust that as well. Yeah, we have to go into the model and then change a bunch of stuff. So let's first find the not logged in button and then go into the show model and edit that. Obviously, this is not what we want. So first of all, to change the padding, it shouldn't be so large because we don't have that much space anymore. 2460 should be plenty. And in terms of a width, instead of 100%, not 50%, we'll do 90, so that it takes as much of this screen as it can without touching the edges. And anything else, I think that's good enough. Now, this guy is going to have a new model as well, and we need to adjust that accordingly. And similarly, we're going to change the width to 90% and the padding again to 24. Okay, so that's now wider, and I think we're done. We also need to fix the rounded edges, but we should do that on here instead. The logic of override is that the widest one takes precedence. If there's no override, then everybody takes the widest screen width, the widest breakpoints properties. So let's see here. All right, so we do need a border radius of about 10 to give it a rounded edge. Okay. Yeah, so the logic is that if there's no overrides on either the phone or the tablet breakpoint, then everybody would take the same layout as the desktop. So if you change something on the phone breakpoint, it does not affect the layouts on the desktop one. But if you've already changed the layout on the phone breakpoint and then you change the same thing on the desktop, then it doesn't take effect either. So let's just give it a try. So we'll add something to demonstrate this. We'll add another text over here. It's now called text26. And let's see, we're gonna make it 16, and we'll give it a background color of, I don't know, very blue. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And in the mirror, if we change this to full screen, that's what it looks like. Okay, and if we go back to the phone, this is what it looks like. If we make it larger on the desktop breakpoint by increasing, for example, the line height to 5, so you can see this is now larger, and it should be larger on the phone as well. But now if we change the layout on the phone breakpoint by setting this to 2, it's now smaller on the phone, but it's not smaller in the desktop. And that we can verify by setting to full screen. It's not smaller. And at this point, this particular components style has been overridden. And if we now increase the width of the component, sorry, the width still kind of works, but the line height is still just 2, so we can change that to like 1.5 because we did not override the height. So let's do something by overriding the height. We override the height to 20. That's that, and then we override the width to 200, and then we go back and we change this to even wider and taller, and then you go to the phone view, it doesn't change. So any property that's already overridden, we will call these inherited breakpoints. Then if that's already written over here, then any changes that happens to the layout on a parent breakpoint does not have an effect. Okay, so the other thing you could do is it's just like hide it, right? There is a visibility style here. So this means that on mobile, this entire thing is gone. So you don't see it here. But we will go back and just delete that because that's not very useful. And once you delete that on the parent breakpoint, it will also affect the child breakpoint. So if you now go to phone, there will be no text. We're also missing one thing. We have not yet configured the click. So on click, it's something that's very commonly done, right? On click, if you click on the a particular item, particular course, you do want to go to the course detail page, but corresponding to that particular course. So in this case, we'll just go to navigate to course detail. And because in the course detail, we have declared a path variable called course ID, we are now forced to put it in. And the ID should be the same ID as the course that we just clicked. That's what we set here. And now if we click on here, we'll go to the course detail page corresponding to that course. All right, and then let's deal with this guy. Obviously, this is quite bad looking as well. What we do want is for this to show something like that. If we analyze this, we got a top-down layout with the title and then either the cover image or the video and then the buy me thing, and then the details about the page. And that's not what we have here. What we have on the top level, we got a header and a course view. And the course view consists of the top view, the bottom view. The top view is it consists of the course container and the side panel. Okay, so the thing we need to change is for the top view to go from left to right to top to bottom. Okay, so now we see it's getting pushed down, and the bottom view is already top to bottom. Okay, so the top view should have a height that's now fit. Course container, this guy has a large padding. That is not what we want. So first of all, let's get rid of any padding here. Let's check if there's any padding. There's a padding of 24. I mean, the 24 thing is a little bit large. So let's change that to just 16. 16 on the sides, okay? And within that, we have no padding. This thing has a padding of 16. This thing has no padding. And the course container, which contains the course name and then the purchase or not purchase thing. So that's the video. Course containers. Let's go to course container. Width will be 100%. Now it's popping up. This thing's width. The header should also be 100%. This thing has a padding that used to be used for the gap, which we no longer need. And the image is 100%, 100%. Okay, cool. That's 100%. But do we need the height to be so large? We'll make it fit. For the height, we'll make it fit. Okay, and then for the not purchase thing, we'll just give it a fit. And for the course container itself, let's also make it fit. Okay, so that's now pushed back up. For the video, since there is no fit choice, we're gonna give it a fixed height. It's kind of odd. I think that's something that we did that's a little bit wrong. But it is what it is now. So we will make this fit as well. So now you have a video that takes 380 pixels. And we no longer need this bar as a separator to the right. So we'll get rid of the bar. Getting rid of the border entirely. Okay, this portion seems just fine. And you can see we have something here. So that means this width is a bit wrong. But anyway, so this is now looking good. This portion looks a bit off. So let's change this to for the bottom view. The course details, and then we have the bottom view, top view, bottom view. Okay, bottom view is gonna be fit, and width is 100%. Padding, this thing has a crazy padding. We'll get rid of the entire padding. Okay, now it's looking much better. This side panel should have a fit instead of that crazy 100%. And I think that's all we need, except we have some strange border issues here. This width is fixed, so we should change that to 100%. Okay, so that takes the entirety of the width as well. And we have something that's pushing the edge. So let's take a look at who is doing that. Header, is just fine. It's 100%. Course view is 100%. Top view is 100%. This thing's 100, 100, and 100. 100, 100. That's a 100. Purchased is 100. These are all 100. We should have something to facilitate finding stuff that's extending. Like we should have a visual feedback for this was wrong. This one should be a fit. Yes, that should be a fit. And that is 100 with a padding on the side, but that's within. There's margin, which we should keep. Buttons 100, and the loading is just gonna be empty. Get rid of that. The width is gonna be 100 as well here. The loading state is for when the data hasn't come back. And the bottom, you had a 100 over here, fit, and 100 over here, and fit, and 100 over here. That's the thing that's a bit messed up. Not logged in. We haven't configured the not logged in portion, so let's go to here and fix that. When it's not logged in, we should just copy the logged in portion. Okay, so let's copy the logged in portion. Go to here. That's the logged in portion. We will copy the stuff inside. Copy both and go to here, paste it in. And this guy should go from left to right. And with a gap of 12, centered, and give it a fit and 100%. Now push out the entire thing, and then we just get rid of the background color. Now we're done with this guy. Okay, cool. So what about here? Yep, that's now good, and we don't have a scroll bar from left to right. So that is how you would do it. How would you adjust the layouts to make sure the entire mobile experience is as good as the desktop one? So let's try it out and make sure it works. So we'll log in here, and it will be, again, just myself. That takes me in here, and we now need to refresh here. Or maybe I haven't bought it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Have I bought it? It's a reddish thing. No, I haven't bought it. So let's buy it. And that's the same Stripe payment thing that we have. And we just click pay. And we have the video. Let's play the video.
In the last tutorial,
that's what we expect. And then we can ask some questions and see if the AI also works. It should, because in terms of logic, nothing changed. So what can Moment do? And the answer would push things down. Yep, so that the answer is correctly pushing things down. Cool. That's all we need to do for dealing with different breakpoints.